This is 1480 KRAE Cheyenne. What you are about to hear is a sports talk radio show unlike any other that has ever before been broadcast in the capital city of Cheyenne, Wyoming, USA. This is Cheyenne, Wyoming's Sports Talk Authority. The Wyoming Cowboys, the Denver Broncos, the Colorado Rockies, and the Denver Nuggets. The show is local, it's regional, and yes, the show is national as well. Wyoming Sports Talk Today is on the air. If they're talking sports on the radio in Cheyenne, this is the place it happens. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
And good Monday afternoon, Larry Perotti, Junior Perotti, Nick across the way. It is time once again for Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it is so nice to be back with you as we have a very shortened shows for you this week. Matter of fact, only two, today and Wednesday. We're on the road tomorrow. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Today's program is being brought to you by Taco John's of Cheyenne. Again, Nachos Navidad, gift certificates, all kinds of good stuff right now being offered over at Taco John's of Cheyenne. Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service still having their hail of a sale. And again, yeah, it might be late fall, but the savings are absolutely wonderful right now at Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service, especially on their Jayco brand, which features RVs, fifth wheels, and travel trailers. Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service on Highway 30. Chick-fil-A at the corner Windmill and Del Range, where they serve up 3 delicious squares for you Monday through Saturday. I'm going to go out on a limb and say they'll probably be taking Thursday off, like everybody should be. But over at Chick-fil-A, delicious chicken sandwiches for lunch, waffle fries. They got their new peppermint chocolate chip milkshake. It is great. Breakfast served up all the time, too, each morning. Chick-fil-A, corner Windmill, Del Range, right across from Menards. Key of Cheyenne over on Nation Way, where we've had our discussion with AJ. The 18s must go because the 19s are coming in, and they're coming in with a flurry right now. And again, if you are looking for something very special this holiday season out in the driveway or under the tree, then you might want to talk to our good friends at Key of Cheyenne on Nation Way. But Alley Bank, 2 banking locations, and again, Rick and his great staff, we are so glad they're on board with us all the time. You'll find them over on Vandahigh, the original location. You'll find them on the east side at the corner of College and Pershing. Lennox Auto Body ×2, the main repair center over on Dunn Avenue, and of course the Auto Glass and Detail Center on Pershing Boulevard. Medicap Pharmacy for all your pharmaceutical needs over on Bluegrass Circle next door to Texas Roadhouse. First Tier Bank, 1508 Stillwater Avenue, open Monday through Friday. Probably going to be closed on Thursday. Yes, they will be closed on Thursday. Mondello's Pizzeria, delicious Paisan cuisine cooked up 7 days a week. Joe already says we're done Thursday. Okay, you know they're gonna celebrate a Paisan Thanksgiving, but again they'll be back on Friday for Black Friday shopping. Mondello's Pizzeria in the Greenway Commons at 1507 Stillwater Avenue, Suite D. And we also want to thank Mars Plumbing and Heating at 1515 Logan Avenue. Again, the place to call when you are feeling a little chilled inside your home. Let them come on by and take a look at your heating units inside your home. We always get our program off and running with our scoreboard. It's brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne. Here's Nick.
Scoreboard-wise, do want to remind folks coming up tomorrow as we will have a doubleheader with LCCC men's and women's basketball as we will be on the road at Trinidad, Colorado, to see LCCC take on Trinidad State Junior College. Men up first at 4 o'clock. Women set tentative schedule for 6 o'clock after the men wrap up. Pregame here on 1480 AM. 101.1 FM about 3:40-ish, so tune in. Again, 1480KRAE.com, and again, video live streaming as always on Periscope and the 1480KRAE YouTube channel. Hockey action from this past weekend with the Cheyenne Stampede. They finally got some victories on the board. Congratulations to the Cheyenne Stampede as game number 1 Friday against the Steamboat Wranglers. They defeated them 5-2. Game number 2 on Saturday, the Stampede defeated the Wranglers 5-0. And Sunday's matinee contest, it was a close one, but Stampede unfortunately fell to the Wranglers 7-5. So once again, congratulations to the Cheyenne Stampede finally getting victories on for the season. A little factoid as well, too, and we'll discuss with Coach Neil Breen on Wednesday's show with him. But, again, 2 wins this season is all they had last season entirety for the at least Cheyenne Stampede. So, NHL action for tonight. Columbus Blue Jackets on the road taking on the Toronto Maple Leafs. New York Rangers hosting the Dallas Stars at Madison Square Garden. Pittsburgh Penguins at home hosting the Buffalo Sabres. Washington Capitals in Montreal taking on the Canadiens. Ottawa Sens hosting the Florida Panthers at Canadian Tire Center. St. Louis Blues at home hosting the LA Kings. You will also, too, see the Tampa Bay Lightning in Nashville taking on the Preds. Calgary Flames at Scotiabank Saddledome hosting my Vegas Golden Knights. And the Winnipeg Jets in Vancouver taking on the Canucks at Rogers Arena. That's what's happening in NHL action for tonight.
And let's get to the National Football League. It is Monday Night Football. Who's playing tonight? Kansas City and the Los Angeles Rams, the battle
Your marquee matchup.
Oh, I think this is a great Monday night matchup tonight, and that will be held in the Coliseum.
No longer in Mexico because of field conditions just being absolutely trash.
Horrible, that would be the word. So, again, Kansas City and the Rams tonight in the Coliseum, where the air quality is getting a little bit better. To the NBA scoreboard, here's what's going on this evening. Celtics will take on the Hornets tonight in Charlotte, the Spectrum Center. Cavaliers and the Pistons in the Little Caesars Arena. Jazz and the Pacers, that will be in the Bankers Life Fieldhouse. Suns 76ers at the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia. PA State Farm Arena in Atlanta, GA, where the Hawks will host the Clippers, Mavericks, and the Grizz in the FedEx Forum. Nuggets will match up with the Bucks in the Fiserv Forum in Milwaukee. Denver checks in with a 10-6 mark. Spurs and the Pelicans in the Smoothie King Center in New Orleans. And the Sacramento Kings in Sacramento at the Golden One Center hosting the OKC Thunder. Our scoreboard brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne.
Yo, this is your cup holder talking. You know me, the little round thing between your car seats. Now, listen, we need to talk. Now, I normally have a nice cold bottle of Mountain Dew in me, but at the moment, I'm empty. That's right, no Mountain Dew. Nothing in here but a couple of quarters and a dime. A fully capable cup holder like me just carrying your loose change, it's embarrassing. Look, I'm not made for loose change. I'm round like a bottle of Mountain Dew. Glistening, cold, and delicious. I'm made to keep Mountain Dew within reach at all times, so you're never far from that incredible bold citrus kick whenever you need it. Just inches from your hand. So find the store already, grab some Dew, toss it back, then place that bottle where it belongs, and put that loose change back in your pocket. Mountain Dew. Do the Dew.
You're listening to Cheyenne's new Sports Talk Authority. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today on AM 1480 KRAE.
We are back on Wyoming Sports Talk Today. Pro Man, me, junior pro man across the way there. Sorry, I'm doing a response to an email here.
How about focus on the show then? I'll say
it's one of our employees who had surgery today, Don. And he's out of surgery, and he's back home, and I wrote glad to hear, heal up and rest easy, and happy Thanksgiving. Boom! Right. It's sent off. So I answer my emails. We are back for only just a couple of shows this week. Of course, Friday, no one wants to hear us. Thursday's Thanksgiving, definitely.
What do you mean? So Friday we'll be out in McCook, Nebraska. So
I know,
there's a reason that.
I know, but
we'll be a part of the McCook Classic.
I'm just saying on a Friday show, nobody. If you're going to do a Friday show, you're kind of nuts. It's just not the same like it used to be back in the day in radio. It's
hard. We got
shopping day.
We got better things to do, at least on a Friday again, covering LCCC women's basketball with the McCook Classic coming up this weekend.
We'll get to that. We'll talk about that here.
But yeah, again, only show today and also to Wednesday. So what we'll have is, again, no show on Thursday, so no LCCC coaches show, but we will have the Cheyenne Stampede coaches show coming up on Wednesday and again discuss those 2 victories that they got over the weekend. But we also do have one special guest joining us today as well in the 4 o'clock hour, as we will talk with World Bare Knuckle Fighting Federation President Boss Rutten. Once again, get a recap of the events that happened up in Casper 2 weekends ago. Again, their inaugural pay-per-view that happened up at the Casper Event Center. So we'll get the just the insider information on just how everything went, and will there be a second pay-per-view? Will it be here in the Cap City? We'll get all that information from the Prez coming up here in a short hour.
Well, we'll find out how the actual attendance was for Casper. Will it go back to the event center? You never know.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so let me throw it out to you right now. There's a lot to talk about.
We got Cowboys.
Where do you want to start? I'm gonna throw it in your lap. Where do you want to start today?
I guess we just start with the Cowboys.
All right, so we want to talk football.
Cowboys. At least they're
a typical Air Force Wyoming game. I've seen
snow. At least weather played a little bit of a factor. Again, it was snowing out there.
Played a lot of a factor, in that one. It didn't really hurt Air Force because Air Force is particularly just a grounded out type of game. But when they had to throw the football, that's not their bailiwick. So
it's kind of the same with Wyoming at this point in time. Again, it was 2 teams that were pretty much now known to run. But the unfortunate thing that we did learn out of at least Wyoming is Sean Chambers.
He went down and he's out.
Yeah, and Tyler Vanderwall took over at least the reins once again for this Cowboys team. Found a way to at least get the victory. Again, as the Cowboys now move to 5-6 overall with 1 game remaining, so they do still have an outside shot to get bowl eligible, as they'll be on the road against New Mexico.
Correct me if I'm wrong. That's his second come from behind victory too, because he had it against
Wofford.
Wofford, yeah.
Yeah. So again, it's a team, at least from Wyoming, you had a shot against. You beat a sub-500 team. Again, still, in my opinion, not an impressive win that helps their bowl eligibility, or at least if they get that magical 6 win against New Mexico. But, again.
Nonetheless, they beat Air Force, they beat Colorado State.
You got the job down. Yeah, again, teams that you should beat, you beat.
Well, so and here's the deal, too. Air Force, you are worse than Wyoming. That's the first thing. I cannot believe how you surrendered a lead. Then people are going, wow, the Cowboys got that last touchdown. Basically, Air Force let them score because really all the Cowboys had to do was fall on ball if they wanted to do that. Mm-hmm. But Air Force said, let them score. We'll have a chance with X amount of time left on the clock, and maybe we can tie it. Because once they threw the interception, that was game, set, match. So they let the Cowboys and again, I'm not going to take anything away from the run, because the 27-yard run by Valladay was a good run, but Air Force said, hey, the longer we keep these guys on the field, the less time we're going to have to at least get another shot at it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
and I think, again, with also losing Sean Chambers, I do believe Nico Evans got a little bit of injury as well. So, again, not great news coming out of this victory there in Laramie. Again, not great news heading into New Mexico, where, again, the Cowboys still, with their backs against the wall, it is still a must-win contest.
How bad is this team to be trailing?
Are we talking Cowboys?
We're talking we're talking to losing the Air Force 27-14. Midway through the fourth quarter.
I think both teams were even. So am I surprised that Air Force had a lead in that contest? Again, you went with Air Force on your picks. You believe that they were going to come away with a victory,
and I was almost there.
You were almost there. Unfortunately, you did not. But
Air Force. Now
I think both of these teams came in very even. Offenses are even. They're both run and gun teams with minor passing.
They're grinding,
at least at
the
point in time where Sean Chambers was your leading quarterback. Tyler Vanderwall, obviously, he's going to change that up a bit, as we also saw in that contest, where Sean Chambers at the point was at least 1 of 2. Tyler Vanderwall, when he came in, 14 of 26. So he's not the Sean Chambers. He's not that option QB. He's not going to be a part of that Wildcat offense. But Tyler Vanderwall is going to air it out. But still, not too bad.
Well, here's a disturbing fact about this game as we look ahead towards New Mexico.
Yeah.
Because New Mexico's not going to be throwing it either.
Well, New Mexico is not a team you can just say that's going to roll over. Well, they're going to want to play spoiler as much as New Mexico has nothing to play for at this point.
The Air Force ran for 368 yards against the Cowboys. Now, again, I know the field conditions were lousy. game conditions were just absolutely horrid. And you're going to go down to Albuquerque. Well, it'll be cool, but you won't have anything like you did in Laramie. But still, you surrendered 368 yards on the ground to Air Force.
A team that averages that. Again, it's not surprising. Right now for the defense, I think it's not a situation of game by game for this team. Are they kind of gassing themselves out? I think here at the tail end of the season of how much time this defense has spent on the field, it's kind of creeping into first, second quarters where they're having these big runs against them, having these rushers as much as, again, Air Force is going to toss out, 6, 7 at you or just a plethora of runners at you. You almost feel for the defense at this point because, again, you could just see it on them that they are – it's late in the season. They're tired.
Air Force had the ball for 38 and a half minutes in that game.
And again, guess what? That's going to tire out your defense.
And you look at it and you say, man, they should have kicked the snot out of Wyoming. They didn't. That's the good news.
Yeah.
But 38 and a half minutes that defense was on the field trying to stop Air Force's run. And again, they run the flexible
out there in the bitter cold, which, again, some players might be adjusted to. Some, again, freezing temperatures in the snow. It's still not a fun contest to be a part of.
But the good news in that game was where they came back. Tyler Vanderwall led them back. Mm-hmm. The good news was this team, Air Force, is not a quick strike offense. They are 3 yards in a cloud of dust. That's it.
Yeah.
And they have to have 10 to 12 to 15 play drives in order to win. When they got the ball back, when you force their hand to throw the football, they're not that good.
Well,
and it showed.
That's what you want out of Air Force. Again, you want them in that situation where they have to throw the ball because, again, we know that it's a team that's not accustomed to it. It's a team that I don't want to say fears it, but does everything against throwing the football. Again, with that flexbone, wishbone offensive style that they run for however many decades at this point, it's not uncommon. Again, for defenses, you're licking your chops for when Air Force has to throw the ball. But again, the yardage, at least the net yardage for Air Force, especially on the ground, does not surprise me. And the amount of time as well, too. Again, it's a team that is not quick strike. It slowly just kind of eats away at your defense, and it kind of did in that contest. But kudos, again, I think kudos goes to, again, one Tyler Vanderwall, guy who I still believe has talent. I still believe should be the QB of this team. Again, give him all credit in the world. Again, 14 of 26 with 2 TDs, 225 yards. Yes, he did get sacked once, which is going to happen.
But he pretty much ran for a touchdown as well, too. I mean, he actually carried the football. Here's the deal. The announced attendance, oh, by the way, folks,
14,000.
We need the chuckle of the day. And again, this is probably actual tickets that were sold to the game.
They were not counting each head out there.
Because there was not 15,000 people in that stadium at the start of the game, at halftime, and towards the end of the ball game. There wasn't 15,000.
And the understandable excuse is I-80. I do believe that's not from Cheyenne to Laramie. Again,
Cheyenne to Laramie was awful.
A little rough. We did not travel over there. Eventually coming back from Laramie to Cheyenne was closed. Rollins to Laramie, both ways on I-80, was closed. So, again, conditions were not ideal to travel to Laramie.
I came in here Saturday morning, and believe me, even the city was under black ice advisories. It's black ice. And, again, once the winds start whipping up when you get past the outer road exit, and you already have the ice on the ground, no matter how much sand you throw on there, it's going to refreeze because it never got warm on Saturday. So to those of you that made the trip over, I salute you.
Kudos to you.
I salute you, and I bet that was a white-knuckle ride. Matter of fact, one of our friends who works over at Chick-fil-A, she had to go over there because they were in charge of the promotion.
Yeah.
And she said, oh, my gosh, it was horror-filled. I've made that drive many times. I feel the pain.
I'm not that insane to do that.
No, I sat in the lazy boy and watched.
I enjoy my life not to risk it on that stretch of road that we know can just be perilous at some points in times. But again, the 15,000, a little too friendly. But again, I do not fault fans for not showing up to this. Again, risking your neck, going 45 miles to get over to Laramie or however far you had to travel to go see this contest. And do not blame you for not showing up because road conditions were awful.
I guarantee you there wasn't 15,000 Laramie fans over there at the game either.
No.
So, again, the Cowboys win. That's a good thing. They're now 5-6. They're 3-4 on the season in the Mountain West, in the Mountain Division. You got a game against New Mexico to wrap up the season. What I'm hearing, and this is just, scuttlebutt that is going around. Again, football is not based on RPI.
No. Football
is based on numbers. And I'm talking about bowl bids. So the Cowboys with their inflated 14,966. Again, this is based on season ticket sales.
Yeah.
This is not butts in the seat. So, again.
Which is common with any other.
Yeah, but the Cowboys have had a good.
It's kind of common with, again, even NFL. Are people showing up to, again, 49er games of what they announced attendance? Again, it's going off of what is absolute ticket sold. So it's nothing uncommon.
But here's the deal with the Cowboys. A lot of the minor bowls.
Yeah.
The Junkie Bowls, the Gildan New Mexico Bowl, for example.
Which is, again, I think for Wyoming is the only shot. That's the only bowl they have a shot at.
And Albuquerque knows that the Cowboys will travel.
Oh, yeah. They've had them before.
However, they're wrapping up the season in Albuquerque.
Yeah.
Don't know if they want to make that return trip, in about 2 weeks.
I think for the Cowboys, it's beggars can't be choosers at this point in time. Again, this team is fortunate enough to even be at least at the point in time to actually be still considered for a bowl option. Again, for the Cowboys,
the Cowboys are going to grab it. They'll grab if anybody says, "Hey, we like free," they'll say, "We're there."
Yeah, I think that's the point. Again, with New Mexico, I think for the Cowboys, if to trip down to Albuquerque. Granted, they don't have to go right next week after at least that New Mexico game. You got some time because I do believe that bowl starts on December 16th, 17th, something like that. Again, you have some time to return back down, and it's not a far trip to get back down south to Albuquerque, but again, for the Cowboys, it is.
But there are other characters in the Mountain West that are more deserving than the Cowboys to go to New Mexico. New Mexico Bowl, famous Potato Bowl, Arizona Bowl, Las Vegas Bowl, and then maybe a bowl at large. There's 5 teams ahead of the Cowboys.
Well, and again, I think with Utah State, that team, I think Utah State gets an at-large. Fresno State possibly as well gets an at-large. Again, Fresno State currently with being still ranked in the top 25. I think they're going to eat up one of those at-large bids as well. They're not going to compete. Boise might be your team that goes to Vegas as your Mountain West kind of representative.
What about San Diego State?
San Diego State goes probably Arizona. Hawaii should be Hawaii. And then taking a look of, you still have at least with San Diego State, Nevada still has a shot. I mean,
the Cowboys are a real outside shot to even get an offered a bowl bid.
No, absolutely. I think though they're in better fortunes right now, especially with the top two teams, Utah State and Fresno State right now doing very well. Again, creeping into that top 25 AP polls right now. I think the Cowboys at this point in time are they have a little bit more at least luck on their side to make it to the New Mexico Bowl.
Right.
Which again, I think that's the only bowl they have a shot.
Two things that work for the Cowboys' favor. And again, remember,
and we're forgetting the Idaho Bowl. That might go to
famous Potato Bowl.
Yeah, so Nevada.
So here's the deal: you get 6 wins. That means you're bowl eligible. It doesn't mean you automatically go to a bowl.
No.
Okay. Things that work in the Cowboys' favor: Cowboy fans travel, and again, the Cowboys, if they are offered the most junkiest bowl, they're going to take it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a payday. However, and I'm going to tell you this right now. However, if they do get the Gildan New Mexico Bowl, they have to buy X amount of tickets. They have a certain. I don't think they're going to do it. I don't think you're going to go back to if you go down. This is the bigger game to go to this weekend, isn't it? Just they got to get into the. They got to make sure they get their 6th win of the year. This is the bigger game.
I think you would have probably.
This is more their bowl game this weekend than actually going to a bowl game.
Not really. Again, it's against a lower end New Mexico team where again you should defeat them. Wyoming
New Mexico has the same running ability as Air Force. They may run they've done that before. A couple years back, they ran the Cowboys out
I get that.
of Albuquerque like they did at Sam Boyd Stadium, where that one was a wild finish there.
Yeah, but there's no guarantee at this point in time. But it is a team that you should beat, a team that is lower down than you here in the Mountain Division of the Mountain West. Are fans going to show up for this? Yeah, but would they show up more compared to if they are to make it into the New Mexico Bowl? Yeah, I think again, fans, you're more excited to go, okay, who is Wyoming going to take on out of the Sun Belt or the MAC or whatever kind of other mid-major conference across NCAA at this point in time, if they are to make it. But it is certainly, again, a key at least matchup for the Cowboys. It is still a must-win. There's no doubt about it. You have to win this, or else your season's done. You finish sub 500, and kind of look forward to the 2019 season.
I think the win against Air Force on Saturday, and again, I may be speaking out of turn, I think that was a job saver.
Yeah, absolutely.
For Craig Bohl.
Absolutely.
He had lost that. I think that pretty much would have wrapped up his career at Wyoming. I think it still keeps his head at least above water right now. If he is, again, he still needs to finish out the season, though. He still needs to win. And he's still going to be under 500 in 5 years. He's still under 500 as a head coach at the University of Wyoming. However,
we're also, too, again, his past 3 seasons, especially if it finishes at 500, have trended downwards.
Yeah, but he's taken
his
bowl game.
Yeah, but I mean,
and again, they're all junk. Well, I should say junk bowls. Last year.
I mean, New Mexico Bowl is like I said, it is like the CIT, the CBI. It is, hey, those of you who are fortunate enough, or it's kind of that charity of going, well, okay, everyone gets a bowl, you have fun.
But what I'm saying is, he hasn't gotten us a Mountain West Conference championship. That's what he's here for.
He's got to a game, but no win.
He's gotten us once in 5 years.
Yeah.
But he has not won the Mountain West.
He's sub 500 overall. He is sub 500 in Mountain West play. Again, the numbers still speak of what Craig Bohl has done in 5 seasons. Again, he has a worse record than the previous 2 head coaches who were removed out of that position.
And the scary part, if you were watching the senior day, there's some great seniors that are going bye-bye.
Yeah,
matter of fact,
that's a scary thing. You're
looking at like a guy like number 28 who is going to be playing next year in the NFL. Maybe Granderson might hook up.
Yeah.
If not, he'll be signed as a free agent, something like Yarbrough did. But the thing is, we're losing a big core of this defense. The offense, the
offense is going to grow.
It's going to get another year older.
We said that last season. It was going to grow this season.
You're losing Nico Evans.
Yeah, well, I'm talking more so of Tyler Vanderwall, the offensive line. You're going to retain a lot, but
you're losing. You're losing about 3-4 players off that offense too. But my point is this: I don't know what excuse you're going to use for me next year.
We're a young team. I'm not making excuses. If anything of what we can anticipate for next season, it's probably going to be a lot worse.
I felt this year was going to be at least an 8-4 year. It may.
I thought you were insane for that. What they're doing right now is pretty much what I anticipated.
And they may scrape to get to be 6-6.
Again, preseason polls have this team finishing second in the Mountain Division in the Mountain West, just behind Boise State. I told every single one of you again to hold up that this team, you got to respect Utah State and a few others in this Mountain Division, at least that are going to do a little bit better.
Well, there's only 6 teams in the Mountain Division. They're going to finish third.
But
they're going to be behind Boise State, Utah State. That's not bad.
But this was the Cowboys team that, again, was projected to finish kind of right behind Boise State, very close, be up top there in the Mountain West of what they've done in recent years.
But it also says the Mountain Division was very weak this year.
Oh, absolutely.
After Boise State and Utah State, the 4 teams, not worth a damn. All right, we're going to take a timeout. We're going to come back with more Wyoming Sports Talk today after these words right here, 1480 KRAE.
There are a lot of things that can go wrong with your vehicle, and most of it is a minor problem. And John at Shine Auto Repair and Service knows the right way to get you back on track. So with temperatures heading south, now's the perfect time to winterize your car or truck. This can be done with a simple oil change, maybe a tune-up, checking the thermostat, brakes, and shocks. It's the little and important repairs that Cars has performed on all makes of vehicles now for over 25 years to keep you motoring along in any season. For an appointment, call 632-0498 or stop on by at 604 West Lincoln Way. Shine Auto Repair and Service, open Monday through Friday.
Bad cough or the flu got you down? Dr. Howard Willis, with over 23 years of medical experience, is now your local physician for family health and primary care. Located at 1616 East 19th Street with Dr. Joseph Dobson, Dr. Willis offers that wise counsel to get you back on the road to good health. DOTs and walk-ins are always welcome. So next time a bad cold or flu grabs you, call Dr. Willis at 631-8430. That's 631-8430.
The big year-end event is on now at family-owned and operated Terrell Honda during their annual Happy Honda Days. This extravaganza has many special offers, including low financing and the most attractive lease programs offered by Honda on their entire fleet. So stop in for a test drive at Terrell Honda and check out the all-new 2019s that have arrived. Plus, you'll find some select 2018 Hondas that need a new home today. Under the tree or with a big bow in the driveway, don't miss Happy Honda Days going on now at Terrell Honda, 1919 Westland Road, Motor City, Cheyenne, or go online to TerrellHonda.com.
When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think authentic Italian. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think made fresh from scratch. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think great pizza, delicious Philly cheesesteak, superb hot and cold Italian sandwiches, meatballs, sausage, and special subs, calzones, crisp salads, and great service. When you say Mondello's Pizzeria, think unmatched Italian taste. Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, your only true Italian stop for lunch or dinner.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
Weather-wise for today, mostly sunny. Expect a daytime high at 45 degrees. Winds out of the west at 5 to 10. Mostly clear for tonight, or low down to 20 degrees. Sunshine on tap for tomorrow. We're calling for a daytime high near 49. Tuesday night's forecast, a clear sky, low down to 25. And for Wednesday, continued sunny. Expect a daytime high near 52.
When it comes to sports talk in Cheyenne, it's a whole new ballgame. Let's play ball! You're listening to Wyoming Sports Talk today, and it's only here on AM 1480 KRAE.
I'm liking that weather forecast because you and me, along with the LCCC Golden Eagles and the Lady Golden Eagles, we will be in Trinidad, Colorado tomorrow. The base of Rutten Pass. Oh.
Whatever.
We're almost by New Mexico tomorrow, and we will have a doubleheader. 4 o'clock with the guys, the ladies at 6 p.m.
Yep.
And
just Region 9 action. Again, it's no longer
it's a preseason game.
Yeah, again, it's a conference, but not a division. Again, as Trinidad State still in the South, LCCC with their move up north. So again, it's a conference game, but does not matter to division once it becomes at least matters to again regional at least tournament time when LCCC will take on other Region 9 North teams coming up in postseason
play. And the guys this past weekend, they went to 3-3 by beating the Power to Play Elite. That was good.
They got fortunate to beat them. They got tested in that one.
And that's career win number 196 for one Jason Fick. I know he doesn't care about those type of numbers, and he'll be the first one to tell you. That's just for, water cooler talk for you and me, and and it's going to be nice to, call number 200 for him, his career win. But he's inching closer.
It's going to be tough coming up at least tomorrow for Jason Fickett's squad. As again, Trinidad State so far on this season, they're 6-1. It's a good outfit.
Yeah, last year down there, and as well as playing them up here, they were battles all the way down to about the last couple of minutes, and then LCCC just kind of got out muscled underneath, and Trinidad State using the big bodies, took advantage of the win. So again, that's going to be a good contest of the ladies.
If anything, for LCCC, sticking on them before we head over to the ladies, though. But again, going against that Power to Play team on Friday night. Again, you're talking about bigs. Yeah, there was, as much as these guys are out of college, a little older, they still had fire on them. They could still hit shots. They are former college players.
The Smith guy from Power to Play was great.
But again, a lot of them former CSU, at least competitors playing in the Mountain West. So these guys have played college ball before, but again, they are a little older than their counterparts of the LCCC, at least Golden Eagles. But you talk about bigs, you talk about size and strength. That was Power to Play. And LCCC got to see that front and center. So if anything, that's a little bit of a benefit. They've gotten that taste, and they know what to expect. Again, if Trinidad State, who I've kind of seen, at least from their starting lineups, there are going to be a few 6'8" guys, 6'7", a lot of bigs.
And again, too, where there was a little bit of physicality involved. Again, from the little guys like Hughes, who came in off the bench, and he was like 5'11", Junior Rivera, who was 5'11", Sabas.
Hughes was just like a little kind of mini.
He was a fire.
He was like the muscle hamster out there. Yeah, again, he was just
But Greg Smith, he was taking on everybody. He was taking on the point guard. He was going there battling against the bigs, and and Coach Ficka said, "Hey, here's just a time to see, or our guys are going to go up against some grown-ups." Mm-hmm. And they found out what they can be in for.
Also, too, for Power to Play, it was their first contest, at least together, for this calendar year. Again, essentially a club team that gets together, but it was their first contest. And again, they gave LCCC everything they could, as much as LCCC tried to bury them out. Do believe a few times a double-digit lead there late in the second half. But here came Power to Play coming back and almost, again, stealing the victory away from LCCC. LCCC did get fortunate as well, too, with Power to Play losing Greg Smith and a few others who did eventually foul out of that contest.
There was a lot of whistles in that contest. And, again, Power to Play, very aggressive in your face, and the group that we had on the floor. And, again, I'm not going to rag on them. Matter of fact, the one official wanted to watch our video after it was all said and done because, that's how they were going to rate their performance. But the thing is, though, looking back on that game with Power to Play, that was their first game. So, they've practiced together and they've gotten together, but I think LCCC caught them at the right time. Their first game. I would hate to see what Power to Play is after about 5-6 games, after they get the feel of each other again, like LCCC is doing on the court.
Yeah.
And they, again, that's not a bad outfit. Like I said, I watched them last year beat up North Platte.
And again, Power to Play, it's a club team. They're not competing for, again, it's more so of a pride thing, or they might be competing on some sort of unofficial thing, but it's not a school. It's not going towards any records or anything like that, but it showed it's a team that has nothing to lose, everything to play for, everything to kind of play spoiler for these Region 9 schools that they do take on across at least the Rocky Mountain region, but they gave it their all. And I think, if anything, and we didn't get a chance to talk with Coach Ficka after the ball game, but I would think he has the sentiments of saying, hey, that was a nice little test for us. It gave us an opportunity to maybe test our skills, see early on, and anticipate for what to expect once we get into the heart of Region 9 action, Region 9 North action. Well, we're going to see teams that are built like this.
Not so much a litmus test, but it was one of those physicality tests. Where are we at physically? Because remember, again, last year in some of the losses, LCCC just got out physical. Yes, they got the greatest outside shooters, but going inside, it wasn't all that popular for him.
Well, I think for this season, what we saw, again, they could still score from the outside, clearly, with Tyrese Potoma. He was certainly that big three-point key.
And Zovko.
And Zovko as well, too. But I think for the guy who's not afraid to get on the inside, compete with some of these bigs and these stronger bodies, I think is one Courtney Dean. We saw how many times he went on the inside, challenged them, and got the easy bucket or easy layup against these guys, against these bigs of Power to Play. So I think, again, it's something that's meshing very well right now for LCCC. Again, Coach Ficka will keep on telling us, hey, he's not worried about this preseason action. Again, it's when we get into the thick of Region 9 North action is when he wants his team to be at its peak, at its best level. So,
and again, too, getting good contributions from Kyle Cabs, let's see, Devin Jones, the Sprajon coming off the bench, getting good minutes there. But I agree with you, and I
think also Applegren as well.
And he's going to get better. David Applegren is going to be one of the hopefully bright stars. Again, he's going to make a living under the basket. Think about it. Yeah. At 7'1", he should be able to wipe away a lot of boards, and he should be able to get a lot of easy dunks.
And I think he had a couple. He did in that contest.
But the thing is, with David, you gotta get him free underneath, and he needs to learn to box out. And he did get muscled in a couple times.
Well, he's kind of a tall, lengthy character, so again, he needs to bulk up.
But I do agree with you, like with Courtney Dean. I like Courtney. The young man is, again, these are the guys I always call the lunchbox guys. These are the guys that get down, they get dirty inside, and they'll get you some boards, they'll score you some points, and they're not going to hurt you. They're just not going to hurt you on the floor.
Yeah.
And I like his play thus far, and I think I mentioned that already in the first broadcast that we did with the guys down at NJC. But tomorrow, it's going to be a tough test for the ladies, an equally tough test. Trinidad State last year was a thorn in Brian Ortmeyer's side. And matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, that's where we ended up wrapping up our season last year in the first round of the playoffs.
I do believe so. But again, I think if we look on the ladies' side for Trinidad State, have not seen what they are, at least record-wise. Know they are a good outfit out there, but I think LCCC, compared to what they were last year, this is, and again, in the contest we have seen so far, that one lone contest against Air Force Prep, I think LCCC is a vastly improved team than what you saw last season. And I think Trinidad State's going to have a rude awakening coming up tomorrow night. They're even in their home court of Trinidad, but again, for Coach Brian Ortmeyer, I think he has something special on his hands this season, and so far in the early get-go, we've gotten a small taste of what this team could possibly be throughout the season.
They are a very good transition team. They are very good at causing turnovers.
Yeah.
So, I'm looking forward to it. And again, as I recall with Trinidad State, they lost 3 key players, 3 key sophomores last year that are no longer with them. They were very integral parts. You got to remember last year with LCCC, they only started 1 sophomore and had 4 freshmen. Well, this year they're starting 4 sophomores and a redshirt freshman. So right now,
but granted, again, 1 sophomore did not play last season. 1 was also on the bench as well too.
But Kylie Milan, who's in the middle, who's 6'1", had minutes last year. And Jessica Stoner probably would be the one with the least amount of minutes. But she's showing her worth right now. And again,
if anything, they have veteran presence of being a part of this team, being a part of the culture.
Courtney Walker
but again,
and Carly O'Brien.
They're still trying to get into their own rhythm and style of playing and being a part of that kind of starting crew with Carly O'Brien.
And Gabby, even though she did not play last year because of her injury, she had a chance to watch.
See how the game still needs
played.
To develop those skills. And again, we've seen it. Again, Gabby O'Connor has been something phenomenal for LCCC and looking to continue on throughout this season. But again, I think right now what we've seen in the small kind of sample size of LCCC, at least the lady side, is, again, I keep on telling Coach Ortmeyer, he's got something special here.
Well, and then you got Jakia Wells, who comes off the bench. Yeah. She's just a defensive expert. She is good. Haley Anderson, who can go into the point. Lamoureux, who can replace Milan in the middle. She's 5'11". So again, he's got a lot of weapons.
Season this summer, Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service is offering you a hail of a deal on a wide variety of travel trailers, including toy haulers. Get up to an additional 50% off MSRP on Jolly Rogers' already low prices. Check out their new and used inventory. Damaged or not, you can still travel in style. Call Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service today, your exclusive Jayco dealer, at 634-8457. See them at 6102 U.S. Highway 30 or go to jollyrogersrv.com.
Cheyenne's oldest coin dealer and supplier, the Coin Shop, is proud to serve the community since 1982. Trade or sell your gold, silver, and other precious metals. Visit with David and the knowledgeable staff for a fair and honest assessment of your valuables. Located at 510 West Lincoln Way. Call them today at 778-7196 to schedule your personal consultation.
Sleeker and longer with a wider stance, the 2019 Kia Rio was designed to break the rules and turn heads. AJ Miller here for Kia of Cheyenne. The 2019 Kia Rio has what you need without paying too much. Save even more on the 2019 Kia Rio during our Light Up the Holidays sales event going on now. Standard technology includes Bluetooth wireless with steering wheel mounted buttons, touchscreen audio system, rear camera display, and more. Come by and take advantage of some of the year's best offers or go to KiaofCheyenne.com and we'll make it easy.
If it happens on the diamond, the hardwood, the field, or even the ice, we'll talk about it on Wyoming Sports Talk today. Hi, this is Nick Peretti inviting you to join Larry Peretti and myself each weekday from 3 to 5 p.m. as we, along with our special guests, talk sports locally, regionally, and nationally. And you can chat with us too at 307-514-1071. It's Wyoming Sports Talk today only on 1480 KRAE, and you can stream live with us at 1480KRAE.com.
Taco John's presents Olay the Day Pep Talks.
Boys, everyone shares everything nowadays. They share where they're eating, pictures of what they're eating. Heck, they even share feelings about what they're eating. And that's just fine, but some things you need to keep to yourself, like these new loaded nachos from Taco John's.
Taco John's new loaded nachos are a meal-sized stack of chips topped with sirloin steak or pork carnitas and creamy poblano queso.
Gather around, boys. Let's get a selfie with my loaded nachos.
Olay the day at Taco John's.
Are you looking for a pharmacist who will actually take the time to talk to you? Then come to Medicap Pharmacy. We're dedicated to healthcare only, which means we'll fill your prescription quickly, and then we'll make time to listen, answer your questions, explain your prescriptions, and tell you about possible drug interactions.
Medicap Pharmacy will always make time for you.
Medicap Pharmacy, 1947 Bluegrass Circle, next to Texas Roadhouse in Cheyenne. Or call 635-3712.
Shopping for the golfer on your Christmas list is really easy when you stop into the Airport Golf Shop or the Prairie View Golf Shop. Right now, enjoy savings up to 50% off on selected items throughout, and remember, gift certificates are always available. Or talk with Mike and his staff about golf repair or re-gripping the clubs for next season's play. From golf balls, apparel to golf clubs and more, do your holiday shopping for the golfer today at the Airport Golf Shop at 4801 Central Avenue or the Prairie View Golf Shop at 3601 Windmill Road in Cheyenne.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
Weather-wise for today, mostly sunny. Expect a daytime high at 45 degrees. Winds out of the west at 5 to 10. Mostly clear for tonight. Our low down to 20 degrees. Sunshine on tap for tomorrow. We're calling for a daytime high near 49. Tuesday night's forecast, a clear sky, low down to 25. And for Wednesday, continued sunny. Expect a daytime high near 52.
Tired of lazy and predictable sports talk radio? We know you are. This is Cheyenne's new sports radio home. It's Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's right here on AM 1480 KRAE.
We are back on Wyoming Sports Talk today as we're getting ready to wrap up hour number one. Boss Rutten, World Bare Knuckle Fighting Federation president, will be joining us once again as they had the big event a couple weeks ago up in Casper at the event center, and we're going to
seem like an overall.
We'll pick his brain
Absolutely.
and find out a little bit what.
Sitting ringside for that at least event again seemed good overall. Again, attendance was not a sold out. Granted, they were dealing with a lot of activity again in Casper, Natrona, traveling down south to Laramie for, again, the state championship game, which I don't even think we ever announced, but yes, Natrona is your 4A state champions in football. But again, a lot happening around the state during that Friday, but overall, again, at the event center, not a bad, at least, crowd that showed up. Again, fights were pretty well, at least, again, nothing too out of the ordinary.
I'm assuming that what you gave me earlier today, these were all the fights on the card, and they got to all of them, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yep, that would be the pay-per-view card, along with also your prelims, as well with results there in front of you. So,
absolutely.
Gave you a little cheat sheet.
Well, that's all right. I don't need the cheat sheet. I was just wondering. So, I mean, they went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, gosh, about 15 events they had for that. So you got your money's worth basically. Now these were, correct me if I'm wrong, Nick. They're 3-round events.
No, they're five 2-minute rounds. So
okay,
yeah. So
yeah, like I said, we'll get
we'll pick his brain, see again what his thoughts were. Absolutely, again, what's next as well too for that organization. Again, looking to see if they will continue up in Casper, maybe move it down here to the cap city of Cheyenne, maybe go and entertain the Camplex in Gillette. But
I'm kind of curious if this is starting to pick up more steam across the U.S. You know, this is more of a Rocky Mountain region type of event.
It's a Wyoming thing because, again, it's only at least illegal, quote-unquote, here in the state of Wyoming. But, yeah, I would think it is getting national attention. I do believe, again, with Boss Rutten, who, again, is a big figurehead, a well-known individual. He has made the rounds on kind of national television with national shows as well, promoting this out. So the buzz is out there, but did those fans tune in and buy the pay-per-view or tune in, or at least come on out to Casper, Wyoming to see that event? Again, was not a sold-out event, but it was a good crowd. decent crowd, again, of a crowd that got into it throughout the whole thing.
We'll get more from him when he joins us here in around 20 minutes or so, or even less than that. I wanted to talk real quick here, Cowboys basketball. Matter of fact, we were keeping updated on that on Friday night, losing to Niagara.
Yeah, an outfit that you probably shouldn't lose at home to.
There's been a couple losses at the AA right now for the Cowboys.
Quite questionable.
That they shouldn't have lost.
Absolutely. And right now, that seventh place kind of finish right now that was projected for the Cowboys are kind of on pace. And what my prediction for this team was, again, where it's a team that might hit 500. This is a team that's...
We might be pushing that now.
Yeah, I really, again, looking at some of the strengths, at least some of the tougher opponents to come up for Cowboys. Again, they still have yet to see South Carolina. They still have yet to see Northern Colorado. And, yes, I'll put Northern Colorado as a tough opponent. Again, this is a team that is a good outfit in the Big Sky Conference, a team that did defeat the Cowboys on the road last season as well in the AA. And then also, too, again, the formidable outfits that are going to be seen in the Mountain West Conference play, Nevada, UNLV, New Mexico should be improved, San Diego State, Boise State, and maybe there might be a few surprises. I do believe, at least from my understanding, Utah State is a sleeper team as well in men's basketball. So it's right now it's the season outlook for the Cowboys, and I think attendance is kind of showing as well for the Cowboys.
Well, it's also the quality. I don't want to say the quality of opponent, but is. Again, the weather obviously had a lot to do with the weekend.
Well,
but
again, Friday night,
Niagara.
Granted, it wasn't snowing. It was in the forecast, but again, at least it was. Roads were not awful to get over to go see Niagara on Friday night.
No, it wasn't.
Again, I think people are kind of lethargic to what is the play right now for the Cowboys, and there is no hype behind this team, and I think rightfully so. There is, other than Justin James, he's a great player. He's a phenomenal outfit for the Cowboys, but I don't think he's not kind of that LeBron James player where he can carry a team on his back and lead them to.
Or even like Josh Adams from about 3 years ago.
I'll even toss in a Larry Nance Jr. who could probably do that for the Cowboys, but I just don't see it right now, and it might be what it's looking so far for the Cowboys. It's going to be a very, very long season.
Well, the Purple Eagles of Niagara winning the other night 72-67 in the Arena Auditorium. The AA used to be a tough place to play for visiting teams, but Niagara played well in the first half and then held on in the second half. As you mentioned, Justin James with 23 points in the loss for the Cowboys. Oh, by the way, they're in action tonight. They're taking their 1-3 record on the road.
Boston College, I do believe.
They're going up against the BC Eagles. Oh, by the way, Boston College is favored by like 7.5 points in this game.
Well, rightfully so. Again, on the road. Again, Cowboys, do I anticipate they defeat Boston College?
No, this is in Fort Myers, Florida. So this is a neutral site for the Cowboys.
Is there any advantage or anything that tells me that you should believe in the Cowboys to get the victory tonight against Boston College? No. Again, it's trending that the Cowboys, at least basketball, it's going to be another long season for them. This is a team that is not flirting with NCAA tournament, no NIT bid. Are they going to, if they get enough wins, to be at least considered for CIT or CBI? I don't think they're going to pay that money as well, too.
No.
I don't see postseason.
But it's early in the season, and I guess we shouldn't lift off.
It's early in the season, but under the small sample size where you're losing to teams that you should not be losing to, and at home, Niagara, you shouldn't have lost to that outfit.
UC
Santa Barbara, yeah, you shouldn't be losing to outfits like this. Again, at home,
I can understand Oregon State.
Again, you're
Oregon State, not the big Pac-12 powerhouse.
No,
either.
absolutely not. Anymore. But it's right now for the Cowboys. Again, under the small sample size. These are teams that I think are beneath, at least, again, talent-wise, I think are a little bit less than the Cowboys, and I think a little bit less of what they're going to see coming up in the rest of this, at least, upcoming season. Again, I think Boise State, Nevada, all these other Mountain West kind of opponents could probably take care of Niagara pretty handily. It's again, it's not a good situation right now over there.
A lot of tournaments going on. Matter of fact, Colorado State halftime taking their 3-0 record into play today. They're losing to the Louisiana Raging Cajuns, 40-26. That's at the intermission. Duke and the San Diego State Aztecs. Aztecs are undefeated.
Yeah.
As are the Blue Devils. They are right now in late the first half.
Do you think the Aztecs are going to win that one? No,
but at least they put up a fight. They're only down by 8, 29-21.
Again, Aztecs should be a good outfit this year. They should. Will they up in Nevada be the top dog in the Mountain West? No. No one is. Nevada might lose one game this year, or at least they might lose one in the Mountain West.
I don't think.
I think they have one slip-up game. I think they're going to have. I have a feeling they're going to have one slip-up game. Whether it's on the road to a UNLV, a New Mexico, a San Diego State, I think Nevada is going to have that one slip-up. But for the rest of the season, it should be smooth cruising for them.
I think we're going to see out of Nevada this year one of the teams that is definitely going to keep their ranking throughout the course of the year. Because, again, the Mountain West is not, aside from Boise State, is not a good conference. It's okay. San Diego State is okay.
I think Nevada can pull a Gonzaga where if they are to flirt around again, even if they are to lose one game in this season, I think they can pull a Gonzaga where they could be that number one ranked team. They could be a number two, again, in the top. I think just looking at that schedule for Nevada and how talented they are, yeah, they should be a top 5 team by when the season wrap up.
My opinion, I think they run the table in the Mountain West Conference. There's no reason why they shouldn't run the table.
Absolutely. Again, they have beyond talent a part of this team, but we saw what happened last year, again, with the same at least core, where, again, a lot of them got injured. Hey, they head on over to Laramie, and they got upset by the Cowboys due to, again, you're missing your twins and a few others that were out of, again, sickness or injury. So I think there's going to be one game like that, whether it is, again, I think it'll be on the road, and it's got to be against a UNLV, San Diego State, or New Mexico. Again, one of those tough places to play in the Mountain West, where they might have that one little slip.
I just don't see it happening. By the way, the Wolfpack are ranked number 6 in the country right now.
And I think deservedly so.
And I think tonight, because there's no line in the game, I think they're going to get really tested, because at the Lawler Event Center in Reno, they're being tested by California Baptist U coming up.
They should win by like 50.
Yeah, that's why there's no line on this one.
Yeah.
Even Vegas says, Vegas Arena said, we don't even want to touch this. Wow. Anyway, we have wrapped up hour number 1. Cowboys, again, will tap around 7 o'clock in Fort Myers, Florida, at the Suncoast Credit Union Arena. Tournament action.
Might want to just tune in for Monday Night Football. I'll just recommend that instead. Just saying.
If you are a true Cowboys fan, you're going to try to somehow, some way, get your ears in tune to it. But, again, BC's favored by 7.5 on a neutral court. What does that tell you? And again, stranger things have happened on neutral courts.
Like I said, there's 2 flags to wave over there in Laramie for basketball action, and the flag I'm going to wave at least throughout this entire season is a Cowgirl basketball flag. Absolutely. I think, again, that's a team I could surprise a few, and I think is a team that could do something very special this season.
What you're saying about Cowgirl basketball, they may not.
Granted, it's nothing new.
They may not win 20 games every year, but the word that is associated with one Joe Legursky and his teams. And, again, sometimes the cupboard's a little bare with graduation, but it's consistent.
Yeah.
The product on the floor is consistent. And, again, they may not go to a tournament this year. They may get postseason action, don't know. But the thing is, with a Joe Legursky squad on the floor, the wins are always going to be coming along for them. All right, we are going to take a timeout. We will have hour number 2 of Wyoming Sports Talk today, right after this.
This is 1480 KRAE Cheyenne.
Also being heard on translator K266CC Cheyenne at 101.1 FM.
What you are about to hear is a sports talk radio show unlike any other that has ever before been broadcast in the capital city of Cheyenne, Wyoming, USA. This is Cheyenne, Wyoming's Sports Talk Authority. The Wyoming Cowboys, the Denver Broncos, the Colorado Rockies, and the Denver Nuggets. The show is local, it's regional, and yes, the show is national as well. Wyoming Sports Talk Today is on the air. If they're talking sports on the radio in Cheyenne, this is the place it happens. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
It is hour number 2 of Wyoming Sports Talk Today, being brought to you by Marv's Plumbing and Heating at 1515 Logan Avenue. Mondello's Pizzeria at 1507 Stillwater Avenue, Suite D in the Greenway Commons. First Year Bank, 1508 Stillwater Avenue, right across the street from Mondello's. Lennox Auto Body, the main auto and truck repair center on Dunn Avenue. The Auto Glass Detail Center over on Pershing Boulevard. Medicap Pharmacy for all your pharmaceutical needs. Same location as always. You will find Gene, the great staff, on Bluegrass Circle next door to Texas Roadhouse. We also want to thank Platte Valley Bank with 2 locations. My good friends Rick Flood and the great staff over there. Again, they will treat you always royally all the time. And you will find the east side location, corner of College and Pershing, the original location on Bandai. Key of Cheyenne on Nation Way. And again, you see my good buddy A.J. Miller and the crew over there. And I'm telling you what, they're going to set you up, put you behind the wheel of one of those awesome-looking Kias. And again, 18's got to go. 19s are arriving daily. Key of Cheyenne on Nation Way. Chick-fil-A, 3 squares, always served up by Ray and Cindy, and it's always delicious eats all the time. Go to CheyenneChicken.com, too, because you know what? They'll come on by, cater your special gathering. Well, you know, especially as we get close to the holiday season, you want to do a luncheon, get a hold of Chick-fil-A. Let them come on by and bring some good old-fashioned eats, especially from Chick-fil-A, corner of Windmill and Del Range, right across from Menards. Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service on Highway 30, and we also want to thank our good friends at Taco John's of Cheyenne. Don't forget, gift cards are available, and it's my favorite time of the year, Nachos Navidad time. Taco John's of Cheyenne. We get things underway with our scoreboard. It's brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne. Here's Nick.
The Cheyenne Stampede in action this past weekend as they took 2 out of 3 against the Steamboat Wranglers. Their first win of the season came on Friday as they defeated the Wranglers 5-2. Saturday, they defeated the Steamboat Wranglers 5-0. And Sunday's matinee, they lost 7-5. So again, congratulations to the Cheyenne Stampede, finally picking up their first victories on the season. We'll have more, at least, discuss with Coach Neil Breen coming up Wednesday on the Cheyenne Stampede Coaches Show, which is heard on at least 4:30 every Wednesday here on 1480 KRAE. NHL action for tonight. Toronto Maple Leafs hosting the Columbus Blue Jackets at Scotiabank Arena. New York Rangers at home at Madison Square Garden taking on the Dallas Stars. Buffalo Sabres in Pittsburgh taking on the Penguins. Montreal Canadiens hosting the Washington Caps at Central Bell Center. Ottawa Sens in Ottawa, Canada, the capital of the
Come on, get it out.
Anyways, Ottawa Senators taking on the Florida Panthers. L.A. Kings in St. Louis taking on the Blues. Preds of Nashville hosting the Tampa Bay Lightning at Bridgestone Arena. Vegas Golden Knights traveling up north to take on the Calgary Flames. And the Vancouver Canucks at Rogers Arena hosting the Winnipeg Jets. That's what's happening NHL action for tonight.
NBA scoreboard. Hornets tonight hosting the Boston Celtics. Cavaliers will visit the Pistons at Little Caesars Arena in Motown. Bankers Life Fieldhouse in Indianapolis, Indiana, with the Pacers hosting the Jazz. Suns on the road at Philadelphia to take on the Sixers. It's the Clippers and the Hawks at the State Farm Arena in Atlanta. GA FedEx Forum, Memphis, Tennessee, with the Grizz and the Mavericks. Nuggets looking to pick up their 11th win of the season against 6 losses. They will be in Milwaukee to take on the Bucks. Spurs and the Pelicans in the Smoothie King Center in New Orleans. And it will be the Thunder and the Sacramento Tomato Kings in Sacramento at the Golden One Center. Our scoreboard brought to you by...
forgetting as well, too, one football game?
Oh, that's right. And the National Football
That's probably the marquee game of the season.
I know. Well, we talked about it, and now I completely just blew my mind here. It will be Kansas City taking on the Los Angeles Rams in the L.A. Coliseum, not in Mexico City because the field conditions there were... All right, our scoreboard brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne.
Hi, I'm Alex White, tea master at Pure Leaf. When I make tea, everything I know goes into it. You can't
Stop for lunch or dinner.
There's a place where possibilities are boundless, where curiosity runs rampant, where exploration becomes opportunity. With Laramie County Community College, you can discover the best version of yourself. It's time to take on new challenges, to enrich your life, and to create the future you deserve. Your story unfolds. Laramie County Community College. Apply today. Visit lccc.wy.edu/yourstory.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
Weather-wise for today, mostly sunny. Expect a daytime high at 45 degrees. Winds out of the west at 5 to 10. Mostly clear for tonight, our low down to 20 degrees. Sunshine on tap for tomorrow. We're calling for a daytime high near 49. Tuesday night's forecast, a clear sky, low down to 25. And for Wednesday, continued sunny. Expect a daytime high near 52.
Got something to say? Then get it off your chest right now. Phone lines are open at 307-514-1071. Make your opinion count and call the show. Wyoming Sports Talk today.
We are back on Wyoming Sports Talk today. We welcome back our guest who was with us about a month ago. That's being Boss Rutten, who is the World Bare Knuckle Fighting Federation president. Boss, thank you again for joining us on Wyoming Sports Talk today. Larry Perotti along with Nick Perotti with you.
Thank you very much for having me.
Hey, let's talk about the past event at the Casper Event Center in Casper. And again, you know, not to throw excuses out there, but there's always something going on, you know, in addition to your event. But as you look back on it, give us your thoughts on the event in Casper.
You know, I think it was a really great event. I think that everybody who was there and the people at home, they really got what they wanted to have. I mean, we had 11 fights, and I believe 8 of them were by early stoppage. So these guys were going at it. Very technical fights as well. The first two prelims, they were very wild. Got me worried a little bit because one was in the first round, the other one in the second round. I go, ooh, as the other next 9 are going to be like this, it's going to be a very short event. But thankfully, everybody stepped up, and it was amazing. You know, I truly believe everybody's raving about it. Joe Rogan and Brendan Schaub, they were talking about it on a clip that had like 11 million hits because they were raving about it, how good the fights were. So yeah, I'm super stoked. I can't wait for the next one.
So when you say the next one, what days are we, what date are we looking at on your calendar, and where would the next event possibly be held?
It will be the 23rd of February. That's the date we're going for, and then probably back in Casper, or otherwise we might do it here in. At the Indian reservation, but we're checking it out right now because we had such a great response from all the people in Casper, Wyoming, you know, and the crowd was so good. So we said, you know, I expected, like I said, like 1,000 people, but I think we had over 3,500 people there. So it worked really well. These guys are nuts. You guys love the fighting. It was an amazing night. It was easy to rile the crowd up. Let me tell you that. I put my hand up and everybody started cheering. It was an awesome night. So 23rd of February. That's what we're looking for next.
Now, Boss, are you looking at, when you say Indian Reservation, are you looking at the Wind River Indian Reservation where they have the casino at?
Yeah, that's here in California, but we're already talking also to the commission over there in Wyoming, and they will help us with that as well, so that we still have a good and a sanctioned fight, you know, so we have an athletic commission behind us.
You mentioned that the crowd was about 3,500, again, ringside, and again, you know, the event center, I think, was half available for you that night.
Cut off with
it was curtained off. But I guess my question is for you, and you go in with big hopes and expectations, and the fans came out, and like you said, the pay-per-view went well. Did it surprise you somewhat that, wow, this went off really well?
You know, it really did. And I tell you the reason, which is something we tried to keep quiet before, but, you know, you can read if you go on Facebook. You go to facebook.com/BossRutten, that's my name. I wrote a statement there about what happened to us about 5 weeks before the event started. We had to fire somebody, our previous matchmaker. It looked like he was sabotaging the show from the inside, and it was so crazy. And Once we did that, everything started becoming easier. But then suddenly the bank of the owner got a phone call from somebody who didn't know who they were, of course, and he said that this was a money laundering business. He was a drug dealer, so they froze his entire bank accounts, all the assets. So now we had to start working, while the money was frozen. It was very hard. We tried to talk to the bank, and they believed us, but, there's still, there needs to be an investigation. So thankfully, at least they did the investigation, so it can't happen again, and everything is good. But, the problem was that we were going to have our production team, which was, and I talked to you guys about that, what an unbelievable production team we had with Frank Belmont, who did Pac-Man and Mayweather, who does more boxing shows, these huge events. And I was so happy with them. We were 4 weeks. Every Thursday we had a conference call with everybody on it, and everything was prepared. But since the money was frozen and he needed to have the money on Monday morning, the money wasn't there. And we told him, I said, listen, you will get your money. But, of course, he didn't want to take the risk, which I could totally understand. And then, there was a panic move by Tom, the owner, and he went for a different company. But that company arrived on Thursday, the day before the fight. We didn't have the fighter interviews that we normally were going to be shoot on Tuesday. We didn't have all those things, so we tried to scramble in the hotel. We literally, we borrowed a camera from the local news there, and we had 1 hour and 45 minutes. It was the only time we had him, and they literally needed the camera. They grabbed it out of his hands. We did 22 fighter interviews in that time, so we literally did 5 minutes each. I was doing written interviews. They were doing video interviews, 5 minutes, new guy, and in and out and in and out. But, in the production, I'm very anal about production. For me, it needs to be perfect. And, of course, you could see that, But thankfully, the fights were so good that the people really, I had maybe 2 websites that were talking about, the production was so-so, but the fights were incredible. So the fighters really saved the show.
Yeah, it's, again, hearing that just at least got a horror story again, completely understand of just, again, it was the first pay-per-view, at least you're going to have a little hiccups, but at least for you and your organization, at least have that opportunity to learn and kind of focus on, again, coming up February for the pay-per-view number 2 for the World Bare Knuckle Fighting Federation. As we look at that card again, that did have a few changes throughout at least the time up until fight night there in Casper, Wyoming. Did see a at least main event, one being Chris Lieben and Phil Baroni, Dakota Cochran defeating Johnny Hendricks. One fight that caught my eye was the catchweight early in the pay-per-view of one Johnny Munoz out of Scottsbluff, Nebraska, defeating Marcelo Alfaya out of Brazil. But let me ask you this, boss. Out of that pay-per-view card, and we'll even include the preliminary card, what fights stood out to you of just something that folks kind of missed out on that didn't get to see the pay-per-view?
Well, this is the thing. All the fights are really incredible. So, and I can say really great things about everything. But the one that stood out for me, because he took it on Monday notice, was what you talked already about, Johnny Munoz, who literally took the fight on a day notice. He drove over, lost 18 pounds while he was doing that, like a 2-hour drive to come to us. Lost 18 or 17 pounds. He was 1 pound overweight. Then the opponent wanted more money, and they would have taken money away from Joey Munoz. I said, no, listen, this is what's going to happen. We're going to pay you the money. Joey Munoz keeps his money. Winning or losing, this kid, he's going to fight for us because he's an amazing guy to step up on Monday notice. And, boy, he became a fan favorite. I had so many tweets. I had goosebumps right now, actually, while I'm talking about it, because he fought this guy who was ready for the fight, who trained 8 weeks for the fight, looks like a killer, tattooed up, muscle guy. If you see Joey Munoz, who was overweight because he came in too heavy, normally fights at 145, now he was 181. So people go look at a fight, and you see the 2 fighters across each other, you go like, oh my God, he's going to get killed, this kid. And, dude, he had so much heart. It was so insane. The whole audience went nuts for him, and he won the fight. He won the fight by majority decision. It was amazing. But the women fight was crazy. Chris Lieben, how he knocked out in the main event. Phil Baroni. Phil Baroni was a little weird. Phil, I think that Chris Lieben got inside his head, and Phil started shooting for takedowns, it almost looked like. Nobody could really understand what was going on. And he himself also told me, he said, man, I had no clue. Everything blanked out. I had no clue what was going on. Anyway, Dakota Cochran stepping up, for Brennan Ward, who didn't come, so to fight Johnny Hendricks. He said, I would really love to fight Johnny Hendricks, so we let the Athletic Commission decide that they were okay with it. And he stopped Johnny Hendricks in the second round by way of knockout. Julian Lane and Joey Angelo. These guys, that was the most competitive fight. Julian Lane is the guy that I was talking about who went to England and he beat the world bare knuckle champion over there. They have, in England, it's huge, who was 18 or 17-0 at the time, and then Julian Lane beat him. Julian Lane went back, but he didn't train enough. He broke his jaw in the first round, but still fought all the 5 rounds against the guy, and that he lost. So we hope for a rubber match, and hopefully we can do that here in the States. That would be great. But him and Joey Angelo, that fight was the craziest fight. Both these guys got really nice Ford Mustangs, and I'm talking about one Ford Mustang is 550 horsepower, completely tuned up. I mean, special rims, special. If you see the car, it's an amazing car. The other one has like 475 horsepower for the loser of the fight. Still super fast car. So those prizes went to those guys for the fight of the evening. Christina Marks, she was a UFC fighter, you know, mixed martial artist who fought a professional boxer in Jasmine Clarkson. I think she did a phenomenal job. She stopped Clarkson in round number 2. I mean, all these fights, Robbie Peralta, Cuccinello, I mean, if you see these fights, every time when I'm talking, if people rewatch these fights, you hear me talking about distance. And distance is one of the hardest things to control as a fighter, the distance between you and your opponent. So if your opponent steps 5 inches forward, you step 5 inches backwards. If you move backwards, the same amount that he moves backwards, you step forward. So you constantly stay outside his reach. That's what what you're trying to achieve here. But it's a very hard thing to do. A lot of professional fighters, they think they know, but they don't really know. But all these fighters that I just mentioned, they have distance. And when I'm talking as commentator, you'll hear me constantly talking, oh my God, the distance is so good. So that means they're glued on each other, and and they're hitting and missing back and forth. It's almost like fighting in a phone booth, but then both fighters are just a little bit outside the reach of their opponent. It's a beauty to see, and thankfully all these fighters stepped up. Josh Neer, he was really good with it. I think he left a mark. He's probably going to face, what's his name, Julian Lane in the next bout. So yeah, but all these fights, it was a really great night for us.
Bas Rutten, World Bare Knuckle Fighting Federation President, join us on Wyoming Sports Talk today.
And do want to continue off of his, at least, mentions there about that fight card. Again, do highly recommend. If you do not see that pay-per-view, again, up and down, from the prelims to the actual pay-per-view card, up and down, those fights were absolutely entertaining. And again, looking forward to it. Boss, want to ask you as well, too, going off of, again, with Bare Knuckle, again, kind of a foreign entity still here in the States, other than here in the state of Wyoming, as we've seen a few Bare Knuckle events throughout, again, this kind of front range here, but has there been any backlash? You mentioned at least some websites having a little issue with your production value, but I mean, has there been any other kind of major backlash, kind of key terms of what I've been thinking and what I've been reading as well, too, of barbaric, but have you been seeing any backlash after this pay-per-view?
No, actually I did not. All the websites that I read were mixed martial arts websites and some boxing websites, and they were raving about the fights. So that's what, like I said, if it's very untechnical, these guys are swinging for the fences, and people get cut. That's different. But this was so high level. I was so surprised by the technicality of these fighters. So I think people just forgot about it. We had a fighter, Cuccinello. I mean, I'm going to call you Chucky from now on, I said. I mean, he looked like Chucky, that doll, that horror movie thing, because he had those cuts everywhere, stitches everywhere. But this guy just wanted to keep on fighting, and it kept pushing forward. It went to a decision. Unfortunately, he lost that because, of his cuts, and his opponent was just too good. He had the reach advantage over him, and he was really good. And again, staying outside the reach and just picking his opponent apart from the outside. But other than that, we had a broken nose for Johnny Hendricks, and then we had some cuts from other people. But as I mentioned on the show last week, we had plastic surgeons in the back, so they got the best care possible. Make sure that the cuts, if there are cuts, they're going to be taken care of the correct way.
Matter of fact, I know one of the docs, I think, was here from Cheyenne that was up there.
Yeah, Dr. Wyatt was up there.
Yeah, Doc Wyatt. He's working on my proboscis next. Hey, boss, real quick, let's talk about your brand and the event that happened in Casper. Again, anytime that you get a chance to show it worldwide, and again get to show it here to the folks and again, this is a sparsely populated state of 535,000 people, but the brand, how much more does this help your brand as you try to expose it here in the U.S. and across the pond, everywhere across the world?
it helps it tremendously, of course. Like in a month from now, we're going to put those fights online on our YouTube channel that's owned by us, where the people can see it for free, so that people can see what these fighters are capable of doing. And, of course, all the guys that won, I want them on the next card, that they deserve all of that. And even some guys that lost who are really good, I want them on the card as well. So we're going to get a new breed of a fresh load of fighters coming in to face these guys who all won. And I think we made a big splash because, if you have guys like I said, Joe Rogan and Brendan Schaub, and they start talking about it, how much they loved and enjoyed the fighting, how technical it was and how brutal it looked, I think we set the tone. And everybody wants to have that for their first event. It's like the Ultimate Fighter from the UFC once they had the TV show. The main event, Forrest Griffin and Stefan Bonner, they pulled off the craziest main event that ever happened, and that literally put the Ultimate Fighter, which is the UFC, on the map. The next pay-per-view was like 600,000 pay-per-view buys, and previously it was like 80, maybe 110. So, I'm hoping this is the same for us, that people say, wow, not only one fight was good, there were like 9 high-level fights on that card. I would love to check out the next one, and then knowing that the production is going to be much better the next time, because now I got my hand in it, now I'm here. Now I'm here also before all the other contracts get signed, those crazy deals that we had to renegotiate. I mean, it was just all working. It looked like the person, like I said, the matchmaker was working against us. He had 2 fights for $1.25 million. It was the most insane thing because, you don't see that in the UFC even. So I said we have to renegotiate that, but of course that cost a lot of trouble because, I came in late. Now I got my production team. Now we got to do the negotiating. Now everything's going to be set. Now we have a special bank that nobody knows of. Nobody can freeze. All that stuff we're going to be taking care of so that fighters immediately after the show have their money. See, now they had to wait 5 days, 6 days, and now everybody has the money. Everybody got their money wired into their account, so they're all happy, and especially after they read the statement. So knowing for everybody that all that trouble is gone now, and now we'll go up to the next show, I think it's going to attract a lot of people.
Well, boss, we want to thank you so much for joining us, and it looks like your brand is going to be the brand that people are going to emulate. And also, too, I guess the next thing would be, where will the bare knuckles end up next? I mean, obviously it's got a home here in Wyoming.
The Indian reservation out.
Yeah, but I mean, where will other states eventually join in? Is this something too where you have to kind of be a lobbyist and go to various legislatures and say, hey, my brand is a winner?
Yes, but the athletic commissions are there for the safety of the fighters, right? And the biggest safety concern is always the CTE, right? The chronic traumatic encephalopathy, the brain, that's right. Healthy. We have that. We see it in football. We see it everywhere. And with bare knuckle boxing, it's actually safer than boxing. So I hope that the athletic commissioners are going to see it. I already talked to one here in California. He is going to watch the show. He doesn't want to watch it. He said, but for you, boss, I'm going to watch it. I'm going to give you an honest opinion because the way you're talking to me right now, yeah, it's indeed, if the fighters indeed hit 40, 50% to the head, and you can see this on the show as well. These guys, they're literally holding back with headshots, but they focus more on the body shots because they don't want to break their hands. So I think once more commissions start seeing that, I think they will climb on board.
Well, boss, we thank you again for joining us, and we're going to catch up with you hopefully again down the road before your next event here on the 23rd of February.
I appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much for the help also, and I hope to see you again.
All righty. Boss Rutten, World Bare Knuckle Fighting Federation President, joining us here on Wyoming Sports Talk today. And, obviously we need to take a break, Nick, but very excited about his brand. And again, and I'm just throwing this out here.
Yes.
You know how you have Vince McMahon's WWE, and then you have your little off
a guy who's well aware of as well. Of the wrestling production.
But what I'm saying is, though, I mean, he's trying to build. This is the brand. This is going to be the international brand.
Yeah, this is the bar essentially,
exactly.
And everyone else
he's trying to set the bar very high, and it looks like he's on the road.
And again, attending, at least sitting ringside for that event up there. Again, 2 Fridays ago in Casper at the event center. Again, production value. Again, say what you will, it's kind of our production value. You almost feel for the guy, especially on my end of where, hey, It's your first one out of the get-go. You're going to have a little issues, a little technical difficulties, a little, it's a filling out process of what's going to work, what is not going to work for you. But again, in the core, minus the little flaws here and there, overall, pay-per-view and the at least the prelims, it was great. It was a great product to watch. And again, I think led by Bas Rutten, a guy who knows fighting. He knows, again, he's a UFC Hall of Famer. He's well-renowned. He is a guy that is very respected in the fighting community. And I think with having him in the president kind of role, again, he's color commentator. He is part of, at least in role with the production as well too. With this, again, a guy he's got a strong head on his shoulders.
And he's not afraid to throw his own money at the product as well.
Absolutely,
either, so.
I think that's probably what some of the best promoters, some of the best owners, presidents do. Again, you talk about the WWE. Probably Vince McMahon does the same thing. You look at Dana White with the UFC. Again, not afraid to back and believe in their own product and, again, try to be elevated to be the best that it can be. And, again, I think what we saw in the first one is just it's an introduction of what it possibly could be. Now, again, you bring up the good question again. We need to get to a break, but will eventually bare knuckle become at least nationwide? I think people, again, with us, with other commentators, as he mentioned with Joe Rogan, again, a commentator with UFC, again, at least giving it a good name. I think give it a good time, maybe a few years, I think people start warming up to it.
Right. Absolutely. All right, we're going to take a timeout. 4:30 hour time. Good afternoon. You are listening to Wyoming Sports Talk today right here on 1480 KRAE. Due to our stormy season this summer, Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service is offering you a hail of a deal on a wide variety of travel trailers, including toy haulers. Get up to an additional 50% off MSRP on Jolly Rogers' already low prices. Check out their new and used inventory. Damaged or not, you can still travel in style. Call Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service today, your exclusive Jayco dealer, at 634-8457. See them at 6102 U.S. Highway 30 or go to jollyrogersrv.com. Check out the huge savings this week at Town & Country Supermarket Liquors. Here are just a few of the terrific weekly specials. Our super radio buys heard only right here feature Jose Cuervo's silver or gold tequila, 1.75-liter bottle, $27.89. Keystone Light or Ice, 30-pack 12-ounce can, $16.99. And Svedka Vodka, 1.75-liter bottle, $13.79. Town & Country Supermarket Liquors on the South Greeley Highway, Cheyenne's low-price leader.
The next time you have a craving for authentic Mexican cuisine, visit Guadalajara at 1745 Del Range Boulevard. Locally owned and operated, they serve their dishes with family tried and true recipes with the freshest of ingredients, made to order. Start off your meal with their complimentary chips, salsa, and bean dip. And if you're feeling adventurous, enjoy your favorite margarita or cerveza. Guadalajara, where the spice is always nice.
Your locally owned and operated radio stations, KYOI-FM and 1480 KRAE AM, are just that, local. Serving Cheyenne and Laramie County, where your advertising dollar stays local too. It doesn't end up in Colorado, Oklahoma, New Hampshire, or even New York. We conduct business here, we shop here, and we live here. And we support our entire community 24/7, 365. Just because it has a window dressing doesn't mean it isn't a facade. A reminder from KYOI and 1480 KRAE.
You bleed brown and gold? So do we. Wyoming Cowboys football and basketball is always front and center on this show. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's here on AM 1480 KRAE.
We're back on Wyoming Sports Talk today. I have the photo of the video here stopped right now, Nick.
What photo of the video? How about
well, I've got
screenshot?
I've got the screenshot, the still here of what happened to one Alex Smith yesterday. My gosh,
it's iconic of the 33-year ago.
Yeah, he wears number 11. Theismann wore number 7, and Lawrence Taylor's the one that did the damage. J.J. Watt doing the damage yesterday, but this is just, It's awful. I'm glad that we don't show the video
Fractured,
here.
what? Tibia?
It was. I don't know how you say the other one. I mean, there's like it's broken 2 different places.
Yeah, and
oh my gosh,
in a quote from yesterday, at least where Joe Theismann was obviously questioned as, again, it was ironic that 33 years on the day in the same team, same starting quarterback who was at least looking to revitalize his franchise, came down with the exact same injury. Joe Theismann came out and said, I was never the same after that injury. It pretty much wrapped up my career. Yeah, I wrapped up his career. So, again, bad, unfortunate news for Alex Smith and, again, for that Redskins fan base as well, where they were rolling this year. They, again, got rid of Kirk Cousins. Again,
they were leading the division. They still are leading the division.
Yeah, they still are. But, again, I think it's only because of, one, Alex Smith. Again, I think credit goes to him of what he has done for that franchise, revitalizing him. And, again, he's a great starting quarterback. He has been with Kansas City. He was kind of in the remaining years, at least final years there at San Francisco. But, again, it's just an awful injury, and it came again. It's part of the game. It happens, but it's kind of terrible when you hear
broken fibula and tibia. And again, if you look at the way he's laying on the ground, it looks like his foot is into a question mark with a little dent on the outside.
I'm not
looking. It's just awful what happened to him. And again, will Alex Smith be back?
Will he be the same?
No, I think that
I think he'll be back, but
I think this wraps up his career. I really do.
Granted, again,
broken bones are different, Nick.
Yeah, I get that, but again, compared to where medicine is today, against surgeries, at least again, physical therapy, possibly he could come back from this. I would not say it's out of the realm. I don't give him a hard no of saying no, his career is now done. But I think it's a possibility that he can come back, but will he be the same?
The part of the body that is needing to mend is got way too much weight put on it. It's not a rib.
I get that.
It's not a wrist. You know, it's not maybe
and again, this is
shoulder.
This is something that's not going to be quick rehab or anything. It's going to be months and months and months.
If you think he's going to be back next season, you're kidding yourself.
No.
So this might be the signal.
I don't say career ending just yet with, again, what medicine can do in this day and age, but it's definitely going to affect his playing career if he is to return to the NFL.
Let's put it this way. His playing career now has a question mark.
Yeah.
With the injury to Alex Smith, guess whose name resurfaced?
Osweiler?
No, he had a very short stint with the Broncos, Mr. Butt Fumble.
Oh, Mark Sanchez?
Yes. He is now the backup to one Colt McCoy.
I mean, he did lead the Jets to
give me a break.
AFC Championship, so I guess he has done that. But
give me a break.
No, this is now for Washington. It's pretty much you just lost the NFC East right now. Again, with Alex Smith going down, and you rely your season on Mark Sanchez's shoulders. Yeah, I don't see Washington right now winning the NFC East. I think it's an opportunity now for Dallas, who did win. People are not discounting out the Giants as much as I don't think they will. And then also, too, again, can't discredit the Philadelphia Eagles.
First off, the Giants are 3-7. Stick a fork in that.
They're not eliminated yet.
I know, but they're on a modest 2-game win streak. I don't think that's going to hang around. Dallas right now seems to be the hot team in the NFC East, and they're at 500 right now.
And I think that's the team that, when said and done, could easily take the NFC East now because of what has happened there in Washington. I think Washington, we now see it becomes a downward spiral for this.
Well, Colt McCoy is the new.
Colt McCoy is who? He's done nothing in the NFL.
I know, but he's the new quarterback. But this is interesting with Washington because, again, you're thinking quarterback. What name usually circulates when you start talking quarterbacks?
Kaepernick.
They opted for Sanchez. Washington did.
Mm-hmm.
From a group that included E.J. Manuel, Kellen Clemens, Josh Johnson, and T.J. Yates.
Surprised there's no Peterson in there.
And no mention of one Colin Kaepernick.
I think the Kaepernick thing is
Daniel
pretty
Snyder.
much dead.
Daniel Snyder wants nothing to do with it.
Well, also, too, again, I think the Kaepernick situation is he's still in the lawsuit with the NFL, and I don't think any party wants to deal with this at this point in time.
Yeah, but Eric Reed is playing, and
he's not suing the NFL, though.
Well, he was part of.
He's not suing the NFL. I'll say that again. He's not suing the league he's going to play in. So that's why Kaepernick and this whole thing pretty much is dead. It's dead in the water.
Well, do you think if he got signed, do you think he would drop the suit?
I knowing probably what Colin Kaepernick would probably do, I'd say no.
Okay.
If he were to be signed, I'd still think he'd still continue on with it.
Well,
I think he'd probably have some sanctions on him of going, well, if you're going to play for us, you're not going to play, you're going to sit. But again, why we even toss that name out anymore?
Oh, no, because, again, usually when you hear of a quarterback vacancy, that's the first name to pop up.
No, I think we're at the point where it's like, who cares at this point?
All right, so yesterday, and I think now what you said, by the time they play the 49ers, that he probably would be gone.
I think
yesterday the Broncos saved his job.
Oh, yeah, just for another week. What you said with Craig Bull earlier, again, Wyoming get the win against Air Force. I think the same thing happened with the Broncos of saving Vance Joseph. Again, that hot seat is still pretty fiery under them. And again, they got one miraculous come-from-behind win with a few seconds remaining against the Chargers.
San Diego, and again,
how about L.A.?
Phillip Rivers.
How about L.A.?
Yeah, excuse me, Los Angeles Chargers. What Phillip Rivers did yesterday should be ashamed, because there's no way in hell
they should have lost
that they should have lost to the Broncos, and they found a way to do it. Now, here's the Broncos. They get the Steelers.
They're not winning. They're not winning that. The Steelers are too good.
Steelers right now are on a roll.
They had to come from behind win yesterday against the Jags.
Yeah, and they look pretty good doing that.
Yeah.
And then they'll get the Bungles at Cincinnati, then they get the 49ers. I think in the case of Vance Joseph,
again, my prediction, I think he'll
ride out the season.
I really don't think so.
I
think with the Steelers, they're not winning against the Steelers. I think it's close against Cincinnati, but they don't win against that one.
Why are you going to disrupt the remainder of the season? They're 4-6, 6 games to go, Nick. You're not going to disrupt the remainder of the season. You're going to let them finish it out, and there he is. He's gone.
Tell that to Cleveland of what they did with Hugh Jackson.
Yeah, but they did that in week 6 and 7. They didn't do this in week 10. Or right now for the Broncos, week 11. He's going to ride out the rest of the year. Trust me. And they'll probably lose against the Steelers, like you said. May lose to the Bungles.
And I get it.
I think they'll beat the 49ers, because the 49ers find ways to beat themselves.
Again, the 49ers, you can say what they are.
Okay, but if he wins
it's a team that's injured.
He wins there, he's 5-8. Again,
that's still in Bronco fan eyes, that's still unacceptable. Well, a team that's still way below 500.
But John Elway's going to let him. He'll ride it out with him.
Does he? Probably. I think in the best interest for the Broncos, again, it's just to kind of sever this off right now, this just infection of this team of Vance Joseph, and get it over with. Again, he has not done anything. You won John Elway of bringing in all these pieces and saying, hey, we got a team that is going to be a lot different, a lot better than what we saw last season, is just as worse.
Right.
They're just as terrible as what you saw last season with your same head coach that you have full, firm belief in. That, again, I think you take the pulse of Bronco fans across the nation. This guy's hated. He's not loved. He's not beloved. No one really wants him as the head coach.
Right.
You might as well just sever ties while you can and kind of soothe, make it a little bit easier to swallow this season.
You got the win yesterday, and they gave you a pass.
It saved them 1 week.
Well, and that 1 week may ride into 6.
This one win against the Chargers, does that say, oh, now the Broncos are instant favorite to up in the Kansas City Chiefs, they're going to the playoffs, blah, blah, blah? No. They got fortunate. They got lucky.
Now, a team I do want to discuss that is playing well. They're not the best team in the NFC, by the way. And, with their record last year, they kind of get a pass as far as scheduling is concerned. I mean, the division they play in is not all that great, except maybe from Minnesota.
The Bears?
The Bears. And, again, you could throw it all on Mitchell Trubisky being –
The Bears, I'll say, as a team this season, they are the team that is one of my surprises.
They're the most improved. And the reason, again, not so much because Trubisky. He's a good quarterback.
For me, I figure Chicago at this point where they are, I think it was I thought what was happening this season would be happening next season. I thought they were just one season, a few pieces away to at least have this kind of success. But it is, for me, the Chicago Bears, what they're doing in this season is surprising.
And you know where they're doing it? Defense.
Well, like
and
one
Khalil Mack.
Talk about a great signing, a great pickup by the Bears.
Talk about the real deal. He has been.
You think the Raiders still kind of curse that?
I think Raider fans are still cursing John Gruden, even though they won yesterday. They won on the last second.
They beat the Cardinals.
Who's beat the Niners twice.
Oh, boy. The Niners right now are in position to get the number one pick.
What did the Niners do to the Raiders prior to that game?
They whipped them.
They clobbered the Raiders. I was thinking that Arizona was going to have a field day against the Bay Area this year until the Raiders won yesterday. But, yeah, you look at Chicago right now, and you got to throw it on the lap of Khalil Mack. He has been – if there's one player that's turned your season around, he's been the difference maker, and I don't think anybody's going to argue with that. The best team in the NFL? New Orleans? Agree, disagree?
I still go with Kansas City. Going off of our picks for tonight, I still think the Chiefs are that best team in the NFL. I really do. I think they have keys to get it done. I think, in honesty, of what we're seeing tonight, Monday Night Football between these two, is a legitimate possibility of what you're going to see in the Super Bowl. I think the Rams, and again, it's going to depend, obviously, in matchups. If LA has to go back out to the Superdome, which, again, if things kind of even up, if they have the same record, again, go to that tiebreaker, they will eventually. But I think for the Rams, they'll learn for what that mistake was. I think the Rams have a good enough core, as much as they're having issues of recent. Again, people are kind of worried that things are going to start collapsing around LA and they're going to start losing their mojo. I don't think this team is kind of set like that to just instantly fail.
I think their defense right now has.
But I think it's a team that can adapt and survive and come playoff time. I think it's a team that could, if they are to meet up with the New Orleans, I think they can beat them again, whether it is on the road or in the Coliseum. They can take care of it. It's kind of picking hairs, though, between these three teams. New Orleans, loads of respect. The Rams absolutely have loads of respect for what they're doing right now in Kansas City. But in my opinion of what I've seen, again, I just believe on the back, and again, a team that I told, at least kind of picked in the preseason of saying, watch out for this team. They are going to be that dark horse, and they have proved it, at least proven it so far, being 9-1. I think with Patrick Mahomes, he is your NFL MVP at this point. I think he has to be.
But the best quarterback in the NFL, Drew Brees, hands down?
Like I said,
I'm going to throw that one hands down. I watched him yesterday.
Like I said, Patrick Mahomes is doing kind of something special.
I understand what he's doing. Yeah, and I'll give him his due. He's been a superb quarterback. But Drew Brees is a pinpoint quarterback. He puts it right there on a dime.
I'm not saying he's awful, but it's just who is the best quarterback right now, in my opinion?
My opinion,
Patrick Mahomes.
No, Drew Brees. I got to go. We'll agree to disagree. Drew Brees for me, and you got Patrick Mahomes. And not a wrong answer, I guess.
No, again, it's kind of picking hairs. Again, with all three of those teams, any one of those, I think out of L.A., out of New Orleans, or out of Kansas City, any one of those, I'll take those three against the field. One of them will win the Super Bowl this season, and not at least not New England. I don't think New England takes care of it. Pittsburgh, I don't see it. Out of the AFC South, whether it's Jacksonville, Houston, I don't see anything out of those teams. NFC East, now with Dallas probably taking charge, the Cowboys have nothing. North with Minnesota, no. Chicago, no. So, again, out of those three teams, that would be my guess, or at least I have more confidence in those three than the rest of the NFL field to win the championship.
All right, we do need to take one last time out.
Yeah.
And we will be back to talk some baseball when we're back after these words right here in 1480 KRAE.
You can actually get something good for your health at a drive-thru window. When you order your next prescription from Medicap Pharmacy, call ahead and use our drive-thru window. Or you can call for free delivery. You can even log on to Medicap.com and order a prescription refill. Your Medicap pharmacist will call you to make arrangements for pickup or delivery.
Medicap Pharmacy will always make time for you.
Medicap Pharmacy, 1947 Bluegrass Circle, next to Texas Roadhouse in Cheyenne. Or call 635-3712.
Are you tired of paying ATM fees? Hi, this is Rick Flood, president of Platte Valley Bank in Cheyenne. Use your Platte Valley Bank ATM or Visa debit card at any ATM anywhere. We won't charge you a fee on our end, and we'll reimburse any fee you incur at any other ATM. That's right, no ATM fees at Platte Valley Bank. How about that? Platte Valley Bank, 3310 North College Drive and 421 Van High Avenue, or pvbank.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Community banking for you.
Taco John's presents Olay the Day Pep Talks.
Okay, good day in the weight room, boys. Remember, we lift weights for strength. For cardio, we lift weights faster. Wachowski, quit looking at your stomach, son. What you're looking for ain't there. If you want a six-pack, the easiest way to get one is at Taco John's.
Stop in for a six-pack and a pound at Taco John's. Get 6 crispy beef tacos and a pound of potato olays, all for $10.99.
Let's Olay the day and go get one right now. Last one there has to pick up Mrs. Coach from jiu-jitsu class.
Olay the day at Taco John's.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
Weather-wise for today, mostly sunny. Expect a daytime high at 45 degrees. Winds out of the west at 5 to 10. Mostly clear for tonight, or low down to 20 degrees. Sunshine on tap for tomorrow. We're calling for a daytime high near 49. Tuesday night's forecast, a clear sky, low down to 25. And for Wednesday, continue sunny. Expect a daytime high near 52.
We're taking Cheyenne, Wyoming Sports Talk Radio to a whole new level. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
Don't look at me. I think these people are completely nuts.
Stop this crazy thing!
And it's only here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Final segment of Wyoming Sports Talk today.
Before you get to your baseball news or whatever's going on, do want to fail to mention as well, too, throughout this program, I want to say congratulations to LCCC women's volleyball as they finished 9th in the national tournament this past...
9th in the nation.
9th in the nation across, again, Division I teams, all in NJCAA. So, again, congratulations to LCCC women's volleyball, their highest finish in the national tournament in program history. So, again, congrats to Coach Austin Albers. We will have him in studio coming up Wednesday to talk about that. Also, too, we will have player Jazzy Espinoza. So, Chinese product, she will be joining him as well, too, to talk about her experience with the team out there at the national tournament in Hutchinson, Kansas. So,
2019 Hall of Famers. The list was out.
Todd Helton.
The announcement will be January 22nd.
Let me just say, Todd Helton, is he a first round? Is he first ballot?
He's got some tough company here. Left-hander Andy Pettit, who was in his career, if I got the numbers here, 256, 153.
Andy Pettit, my mind says no.
All right. Continue. How about Mariano Rivera?
Yes. Yeah, that's a for sure.
652 regular season saves, 42 in the postseason during his 19 years with the Yankees. That included 5 World Series titles.
Yeah, he's a guarantee.
Roy Halladay?
Yes, absolutely. I think posthumously for him, yes.
Posthumously, you mean?
Whatever.
Won Cy Youngs with Toronto and Philly. He was 203 and 105, 16 years.
Yeah, he is
in the majors.
He has to be. Absolutely. He had a phenomenal, again, what he did through his career, yeah.
You got 2. Okay. You're not on Helton.
No, I don't think, again, the Coors Field and playing with the Rockies, that's going to sit in their minds. Absolutely. I think he'll do better than a Larry Walker, per se, out of the get-go. But will it be enough to be a first ballot Hall of Famer? No.
See,
again, he is a Hall of Famer. It's going to take him some time. I think whether it's next year or 2 years from now, yes, he will get it in. But again, what is going to, something that kind of sticks with NL MVP of what we saw recently, what sticks with Larry Walker, what sticks with all these Colorado Rockies is Coors Field elevation.
I know, but last year
hurt him.
4 were inducted into the Hall. Also on this year's ballot, Michael Young, Miguel Tejada.
No.
But just again, Hilton hit.
Tejada's a fringe. He might be later.
No. Hilton hit 316, 15 years with Colorado, 369 career homers, 1,406 RBIs, 1,401 runs.
Like I said, he's a Hall of Famer.
Just not this year.
I think again he's going to show better numbers than Larry Walker and a few others, at least with the Colorado Rockies. But he's still going to get dinged enough of saying, well, he played his entire career in Coors Field, or at least with the Rockies, playing half of his contests there at Coors Field. He's going to get dinged for that.
Well,
as every other Rocky player is. Again, he's not getting it this season. But I think people eventually, these riders will get some sense into him. Year 2 or year 3 of going, all right, now he's a Hall of Famer.
So we'll go with Rivera and we'll go with Halladay for sure.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And let's just say a third will make it this year, just for argument's sake. Do steroids, tainted stars, Clemens or Bonds get in this year?
I think
no.
Going off of the numbers of what we saw of trending, I would say if I had to choose one, again, if you want to give a good number of 3, and out of those 2 to pick that one, I would say you got to go with the home run king of Barry Bonds. And again, his numbers have trended north.
Yeah, they've got 56%, 57% last year.
Yeah, again, they've given him some respect year in and year out. It's been a slow crawl up the mountain for him. But if I had to choose out of those 2 of a likely possibility, and it could be that voters kind of get to their senses of what they need to do with the steroid era. Yeah, I think Barry Bonds could have a legitimate shot.
I'm sorry, I'm going to put a little damper on your thought there. It's going to be Pettit, Halladay.
I don't think Pettit
and Rivera,
because Pettit didn't he get busted as well too for PED or
never got proven.
No, I guess that's true. Yeah, but he was accused of it.
He wrapped up with a 3.85 ERA, 15 years with the Yankees, 3 with Houston, and went 19-11 in 44 postseason starts.
Your for real 3 should be again with at least Rivera, with Halladay. It should be Todd Helton.
Yeah, well, and Helton,
but it's not going to be.
I think Helton will. I actually believe
he'll get good numbers.
I look at him finishing 4th.
Yeah. Yeah,
he'll be on the outside looking in on this one. I think it's going to be 3 pitchers in this one: Halladay, Rivera, and Andy Pettit. And Pettit would be just barely making it into the Hall. So
yeah.
that's what
and
I'm
again,
looking at.
Going off of years past and the voting numbers and how it's trended north for both Clemens and Barry Bonds. Again, I don't say it's not a possibility for Barry Bonds to get in, or at least entertain or flirt with getting very close of at least kind of on the cusp of finally getting it.
I think both these guys.
It's a shame that they have not done anything with these two.
Clemens and Bonds, Nick, are going to end up in the Veterans Committee, and that again, that's where Pete Rose is at.
Yeah, and how he's not a Hall of Famer.
And that's in the Veterans Committee right now. So it's going to be out of the writers' hands into the Veterans Committee.
Which is still a scary thing as well, too, because, again, they all kind of have the same mentality regarding a few of these things.
As long as those old-timers hang around, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, so that's what we're looking at here. The announcement will come right after the New Year on January 22nd.
I think Larry Walker will probably get improved. No, I'm just saying he's trending northward, but is he a Hall of Famer this season? No, he's absolutely not. I don't think he's going to be a Hall of Famer, but we'll see again when we get all that at least percentages tossed our way. I think he'll improve as well too. At least get a little bit more respect at least for this year.
Well, if that be the case, then I think it's a crying shame on Helton, because Helton would be, in my opinion, he should be a first rounder. All right, we got to wrap things up here on our side of town. Tomorrow, basketball ×2. We make a very long road trip to Trinidad.
I don't know what you're complaining about. You don't have to drive.
Well, but still got to be awake.
Guess what? Please, you're going to sleep the whole way.
I don't sleep.
No, yeah.
I nap.
I'll make sure to record that and put it on Periscope every time you're asleep. It'll be like a 15-hour just live stream.
I don't sleep. I nap. So we will be down in Trinidad tomorrow. We will have LCCC Golden Eagles action. The 3-3 Golden Eagles will be on the floor first at 4 p.m. against Trinidad State,
who is 6-1.
And then the Lady Golden Eagles at 6 p.m. We'll have the nightcap.
Tentative schedule of 6.
Well,
when the men wrap up.
Well, they usually wrap up in an hour and 45 minutes.
We'll see.
So we'll have the ladies on the floor.
That Friday contest went a little longer than an hour 45 due to the refs.
Well, that's their problem, not mine. I don't think we'll have that case coming up tomorrow.
We'll see.
I think it's going to be an up and down shootout. And again, we'll have that contest. The ladies who are 4-2 in the season under Brian Ortmeyer, they will be matching up with the Lady Trojans at 6 p.m. So